Hi everyone, Tracy here. Well, today I'm going to share with you something a little different. I'm doing a challenge. Natalie over on Well That's Nat on YouTube has asked me if I can do a tutorial on how to make a coin envelope mini album. And I would like to thank you, Natalie, for having so much faith in me because I have never made one of these. But it is on my list of things to do from last year. So thanks for helping me push me along with that. And another thing is I'm using some of my graphic 45 papers that I've been scared to cut up. So that was a challenge. So here is the mini I'm going to show you, and it's not completely finished. This is just, I'm just showing you the outline of it, and I'll show you the finished product on another video. So this is all covered. And what I did was I have the pockets here. On the first and the last one, I cut the tops off. And then on the other pages, I added on the front and back, I just added some paper to make the flap a little bit longer. So you just leave the flap on and you sandwich your two pieces of pattern paper in between them. So that's what I did with all of these. There's all the papers I used. And I'm going to make it encase it, I think. Let's get started. Well, I am going to be using the coin envelopes that you get from the bank. And why? Well, because for one thing, they're free. You get them every time you withdraw money from the bank, or I'm sure you can just go to the teller and ask for some. And depending on the bank, you'll get a different type of envelope. This one here is the craft color. And these ones here have an image on the front, which doesn't matter because you're going to be covering it up with pattern paper, so it doesn't really matter what's on the front. But this has the white edges. So you'll see part of the white edge, or you can color it, paint it, ink it, whatever you want to do with that. So that's what I'm going to do. That's the ones I'm using. And I'm going to get into my graphic 45, the steampunk. And the reason I'm using this is because I'm trying to cut into my nice paper, and this is my least favorite. I'm sorry, ladies, I know everybody loves this, but some of these images, like I've said before, like freak me out. What is it with their passion with legs? I don't really understand it. But and this one freaks me out too with the bird. I don't know why. So I figured I can just like cut around the images I don't like, and because it's a mini book, it's easier to do that than if you were going to be doing a 12 by 12 layout with it. Okay, so what I did was I inked my envelopes, and I don't know if I told you the measurements of these envelopes, but they're about 6 1/4 by 3 1/2. So what I did was I inked both sides of them, and I picked out and cut my paper to go on the envelopes, and I also number each page, and I number the backs of the envelopes, so when if they get mixed up, I know which pages I want to go next to which pattern papers. And thinking of this, I kind of wing it as I go along. I'm sure a lot of you do that, but what I want, I've never made one of these before, and I want to bind it with my Bind It All, and I want hard like chipboard covers. And I'm not sure of the closure. I might wrap the chipboard around the whole album. We'll see what it looks like when I'm done. So on to the next step. Okay, so I adhered some of my papers on, and I just wanted to show you. This is going to be the front cover, and so I want a special paper on here. And then this is my first page, and what I wanted was the longer flaps. So I have the short one here on this page, and then on this one I wanted longer flaps. So what I did was I just cut a longer piece on the back, and then on the inside part I just cut another little piece of paper and stuck it just, I don't know, you could see just a little bit in there. I just stuck it in there, and then I scored the paper to fold it. And this looks uneven and everything, but I'm going to put some kind of decorative border I'm going to cut out of here. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm winging it as I go along, but I just thought I'd show you some of my progress so far. Now that I adhered all the paper onto the coin envelopes, I bound it with my Bind It All, and then I went in here and I cut the edges with my on the edge dies, and then I'm going to embellish that. And for my preference is I don't care too much when you have a mini album and it's like way out like that. I like them to lay flat, and I really want to go crazy on this. I want to put lots of embellishments, and I want to have lots of dimension to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little box for it. So what I did, and I'll show you how this works, I never put any paper on the last page because I'm going to adhere it to the box. And then I am going to have my side pieces, such as this, and I lost my other one. Here it is. Here's my other side piece. And then when those are all on, these two pieces here are going to lay like that, and then I can open it this way. And I'm going to adhere all these the same way I did the scalloped mini, my sister Julia's mini. I'm going to use these that I got from the bookbinding store, the bookbinding ribbon. So let me get started on that. And what I mean for I wanted to make a box for this is I took the chipboard like you saw before, and I put the strips of bookbinding on it, and when I open it up, I don't know what kind of closure I'm going to have, but when I open it up, the book will be right in here, and it'll be actually attached to here. So it could be as bulky as I want. I have lots of room. I might even have too much room, but I have lots of room in there, if you can see. And I made this with heavy duty chipboard, and I'm going to, when I cover it with the pattern paper, I'm going to go right to the edge. Because it doesn't have the scalloped edges, it'll be a lot easier for me to cover, so I'll go straight to the edge with that. So there you go. There is how I did the envelope mini. So hopefully tomorrow I'll get around to embellishing it and finishing it off, and then I will show you the finished product. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps you. Bye now.